We had gone to the casino like on a Monday night, and freaking, I mean, it was an alright night. It wasn't bad. You know, I was down 20. Remember, it was up like 100 or 2 or something. So, but like, it was a decent night. Like, everything, good vibes, everything was chill. And we were coming home in the van. I took the van because the truck had no gas. So I took the van. We're coming home. We were coming in between Pinconning and what the fuck was the other place?
Bay City or what?
No, it's fuck, I don't know. It's the one in Standish. So we were coming home, and in right before we had hit Pinconning, there's like this like foresty area where there's like it's one of the M roads that fucking have 2 lanes on each side, and it's dark. There's no fucking street lights, none of that shit. So we were coming, and I normally be putting my headlights on the brights, and I be all the time, and I didn't this time, and fucking me and him were talking, and then all of a sudden, boom, right in front of me, like 5 feet, there's a fucking huge ass deer, male deer, antlers and all. And then motherfucker just frozen.
He was just staring. Well, people say that it can be a common thing that, because, you know, have you ever heard that expression or whatever they say, like deer in the headlights?
Oh yeah, we just
stay still. But to me, like when I seen that deer, like it
didn't look normal.
That shit seemed demonic to me.
Yeah,
because like when I seen that deer, I've never seen a deer do that. And maybe it's just me, like, because I've never seen a deer in the middle of the road looking dead at you, like,
yeah,
like crazy. And it's like, I think it was a little weird too, because we only seen it for like 2 seconds, 1, 2, and then you reacted.
Yeah.
And that, like, when I think of that image that
like
left in my
deer,
head was evil. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so you felt that way too?
Yeah,
because I felt that way.
Yeah,
I didn't say nothing that night, but I felt. Well, I did mention to you, like, that's God looking out for us. But that when I go back to it in my head, I'm like, yeah, that shit seemed evil to me.
Yeah,
the way that deer was looking at us.
The face of the deer didn't look like a regular deer.
Yeah, the way it was evil. Looking at us,
and it was just standing there with its body facing. The body was parallel to the van, and the head was just looking straight at us, and it was right in my lane. So I was on the fast lane on our side, and like I seen it, and I'm like, oh shit, and instinctively I fucking cut to the right, like instinctively. I had no time to think. People always say you shouldn't swerve, you should just hit these motherfuckers straight on and this or that, but my body did that shit. I don't fucking know. My body said fucking turn right.
It said hard swerve. That's what it was.
So then I had cut it to the right, and because of how I was doing like 60, 65-ish, because of how fast I cut it, motherfucker wanted to, like, the van had like swung heavy.
It's like you were drifting.
That motherfucker was damn near sideways, and I'm like, oh fuck. And then I'm here trying to control it. It's waving, like swerving side to side, trying to keep it straight. And I was finally able to get it back straight. But that, I don't know if I could do that again. Because like I would say I'm a decent driver on average, maybe slightly above average when it comes to like handling a vehicle. But like I've never swerved that hard, and this is I never done it. I don't like going fast. I don't do any of this shit. And like for me to be able to keep it straight, bring it back, I was surprised. And I wouldn't say I could do it again.
But what was your thought process while swerving? Like, what were you thinking?
I wasn't thinking. I was just...
You wasn't thinking about anything?
I wasn't thinking about
was your
nothing.
Head? You weren't like, we're about to crash? Nothing like that?
No, I would just keep it straight. I was like, bring it back, like that. Just all I kept saying, bring it back, bring it back, bring it back.
Because me, like, well, when I seen the deer, like, it was 1, 2 when you swerved. And then you started swerving. But when I seen the car was facing the woods, I was like, my head, we're about to crash. Because I'm like, this shit's aimed right at the woods. And so I remember just like tightening up a little bit. I dropped my phone, not even realizing because it was in my hand, until you just got it straight again. And then I'm like, oh shit, like that was hella crazy.
Yeah, it was lucky. Because I wouldn't say I can do that again. I wasn't confident that I was going to be able to bring it back. And especially because after the first swerve, I was sideways the one way. And then
Well,
when
the
I
first
swerved
swerve,
back,
I think, is the one like that really like made you lose your control because of how hard it was. I think maybe because it was so quick,
yeah.
like your instinct, you like pulled on it more than you should have to get out the way.
But it was just enough to get to, I wouldn't hit it.
But I think if you wouldn't have done that, you probably would have hit it.
I still would have hit
But
the
if
ass
you were
end of it.
turning and you would have hit it, who knows what would have happened? Maybe we would have just went straight to the woods.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know.
It was a big sized deer too.
Yeah, I've never.
It was a good sized deer.
Yeah, good antlers and everything.
Yeah.
That's why I remember telling people from work, like, this motherfucker was a good sized deer, a good big boy one. It would have fucked the van up. It would have been done.
It would have destroyed it.
It would have been done.
Your side would have been destroyed.
Yeah, it would have. It could have. It's like a high possibility you would have totaled the van, especially at the speed that I was going. And if I would have hit that motherfucker straight, yeah, the whole front would have been fucked.
Well, you would have hit his ass. Like the driver's side would have hit his ass. His back part of his body.
If I hit the corner,
that motherfucker would have went flying. That's why I said, I remember telling you afterwards, I'm like, damn, like you should have just hit him. Because like when I heard stories in the past of people swerving, a lot of times when they swerve like that, they die because they end up crashing into a tree. And I remember my teacher telling us, hey, if you're ever in that situation, hit him. Just fuck it, hit him. Because your chances of survival are a lot higher to hit him than to swerve. Because there's a lot of people flip and they fly out the car. Yeah, and a good thing we had our seatbelts on too.
Yeah, we both had our seatbelts on. And but like it turned out good for us. Now, I think it would have been better to just hit the motherfucker, just hit the brakes and just hit this motherfucker, like lock the brakes and just fucking head on. But the van would have been fucked. The van would have been fucked, and then it would have been a fucking pain. Everything would have been a pain after that.
Yeah, it would have sucked because then, man, we'd have to get a new van.
And like,
will insurance cover that?
Yeah, it has full coverage.
The whole van? Oh shit!
Yeah, they would have cut us a check if it got totaled, and we have gap and all that shit for the van, so that means we wouldn't have to pay the additional whatever we owe.
Oh,
but
and there was a car behind us too. Luckily, he wasn't. He had some distance on us because if he was close, I wonder if he saw the deer too,
or you just think we just swerved randomly.
No, I'm pretty sure he knows, like, because that road we're on is dark as shit. There's no lights, nothing.
I know, that's why I tell my dad all the time, I don't like that I can't see. I like putting my brights on, and then when the car comes, I turn them off all the time.
Yeah,
and then for that night right there, I remember I had talked to you about it or something. And then boom, fucking deer right there. And I did this crazy to just, that motherfucker just there. It's not like he came out running or none of that shit like they normally do. It's like the motherfucker was waiting for me. He's just chilling there.
I know. And the other day when I was driving at nighttime, I was driving through like a woody area where I go to the restaurant. And it was dark as shit. I couldn't see anything again. So I put my brights on. I'm like, fuck it, who cares? Put my brights on, like through the woods, and there was a car far, far away. Like it was far away, and I'm like, I don't know if I don't think it's bright enough to like fuck with him. So I left him on until I got like a little bit closer. He was pretty far still. And when he started getting a little bit closer, he was still far. I turned him off. And when we started getting close, he turned his brights on for a little bit. And in my head, I'm like, I don't know. I automatically was like, his message was like, fucker,
fuck
like,
you.
Yeah, what are you blinding me for? But it was so far away though. But it's like, it seems that when you have the brights on, it seems like that's how the light's supposed to be. But them shits are too bright, I guess.
Yeah, but it's worth it. Fuck the other fucking
why isn't there some type of technology that changes that? Somehow have lights, like almost like cameras, like infrared.
They make cameras so that
so you can see further away. Like
yeah, they make cameras so that your brights, not cameras, they make lights. And like some of the new vehicles, like not GM, but I've seen videos of some people have like prototypes where like their brights are on, but as it detects a car, it blocks, no, stays on, but it blocks. It follows the car until it passes you, and that specific little angle where it would hit the driver, it turns them off. Just specifically at that angle, and once it passes you, it turns them all back on. It's like, imagine like pixels, and it turns off every pixel that is going to point in his direction. So as he's coming, it keeps track of him so that your brights still stay on. But
that's crazy estimate though. Like how do you even do that?
I don't know. But I've seen videos.
Good ass tracker then. Is driving with your brights on illegal?
I don't think it's illegal. It's just like everybody
like you can't
gives you shit about it.
Yeah, but if you're driving in the freeway with your brights on.
Yeah, I don't think
is that illegal. Like,
illegal.
Is that like a hazard or something?
Well, if it is, I don't know anything about it. Why did they make it available if it's illegal then?
I think it's just so when you're in those scenarios where I guess where you're like in the woods and shit, very dark places.
Yeah, but I used to never drive with my brights on. Ever, never, ever, ever. And I'm like, why?
Because I never really do either. I never really do either. I turned them on a couple of times when it was super dark, but like make it a thing to all the time. No, I just drive normally.
The one thing too that I find it was funny that like after we almost fucking crashed and shit, we started laughing.
Yeah, because you just escaped.
And it was tight. It was tight that like during it was just puro quiet. It was just trying to keep it straight. Yeah, everything was just puro quiet. Nobody was saying shit. And yeah, until we were done, we were like, and then we started laughing and whatever.
Yeah, because it's like like we were already. I'm like, we're already fucked. You don't know what was happening. Whatever's gonna happen is already gonna happen. So now it's just like, okay, like brace myself or try to brace myself for whatever's gonna happen. But I never thought, I was like, we're probably going to crash. That's what I thought. But in my head, I'm like, never death or nothing like that came to mind.
Yeah.
That shit never comes to mind. Yeah. And I think that's just normal to not death come to mind. But that's what I'm saying. That's why you got to have your fucking seatbelt on.
Yeah, because you never know.
And every time I think about my friend who flew out the vehicle, I'm like, hell no. I always think of him when I get in the car and then I hear that fucking ding, 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 like, put your seatbelt on. I will make you think of him like, put your fucking seatbelt on. Like, don't be a dumbass. So I'm like, I put my seatbelt on all the time. But I think now I'm going to start putting my fucking brights on. If I'm going to, fuck it. If I piss somebody off, it's like, especially a lot of times in the areas where you know there's deer, right? Where you know there's deer. And you could like, a lot of times like, on our block right here, you can encounter deer. But a lot of times we just pass by there. I tend to slow down when I go through there, but I never turn my brights on or nothing.
It's at nighttime. I think the big thing is at nighttime. If you're driving at nighttime and you can't see shit.
But here in Michigan, you see deer roadkill everywhere. All the time. All the time. On the freeway.
Yeah, I know. I don't know, at nighttime, for whatever reason, it's like those fuckers just be walking around everywhere, be running and shit. And then I don't know, you just got to be careful because you can't see shit. But I just find it funny that I find it funny that I think this is a men thing, right?
I think so because, I mean, there's been situations like when it comes to like my sister, when she's gotten close calls, she almost hit a car or something. She says like she gets like, I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it's anxious, but it's like, it doesn't sit well with her. Because I remember this one time we were leaving her house. We were in a Yukon. You know how Yukon got like what? Like 5, 6, 7, 8 maybe seats? Maybe 7. I was in the back seat, the very, very back. And she was backing up in reverse. And there was a car coming and she didn't see it. So she was backing up. She was backing up like this and the car was coming. She didn't see it. And it just like missed it. It missed me damn near. So it almost hit, like if it would have hit us, it would have hit me. Full impact. And she was like, she had to stop afterwards. Like she drove off, but like maybe a block. And then she parked in the store. And then she told me like, I don't know if I can't drive right now. Like she said, like I can't right now. It does something to her. Like I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it's like
It makes her paranoid or what?
I don't know. Like it's a feeling. I think overwhelming feeling she gets because she's like I could have killed you, right there. And she's like, that's not okay. And I'm like, well, you didn't. I'm still here, so it's not a big deal. Just learn from it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would get mad, but I wouldn't get mad.
But I think the thing is where like when you feel like, oh, I gotta step away. If you have that feeling, I think the best feeling is to listen to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because when you're overthinking shit already, if you're the type of person that something happens to you and then you almost get hurt or die and then it fucks you up enough where you start overthinking shit, it's best you're not driving because then you're not fully there. And when you're not fully there, then shit can like happen.
I think some people would get mad in that situation.
You almost fucking
killed me, bro. I don't even get mad. Even if I did die that day, I wouldn't be mad because it was accidental. So it's like I was whatever. And I believe like if it's my time, is my time. Christ's gonna take me when He wants to take me. So I think like, do you believe in that? That like you have a death day, like that's your specific day, and then you will avoid death. You'll get close calls and stuff. You will avoid it because it's not meant for you. It's like they say death is like there. When He's there to pick you up, he's there to pick you up.
I mean, I don't know. Like sometimes it's like you think like, oh yeah, it's not my time. I don't think a day. I don't know. I don't know if there's a specific day that you're due to check out, but I do feel like sometimes God be watching over you when and shit doesn't like shit just. You weren't meant to die then, but I'm not sure if there's a day specifically that He's like, oh yeah, you're meant now. I don't know if that's how it works, but I think I don't know how to explain that. I think He for sure looks out for you and saves your life sometimes. But I don't know if He has for like June 13th of 2026. I don't think it's like that. I think it's just like He's
if He does save you in the case of like it's not your time yet, doesn't that mean that like you're not your death day?
No, because like I think like maybe
doesn't mean that you have a determined death day.
No, because like what if the determined day to die, I'm not sure, but like let's say if he had a plan for you to do something 2 weeks from now, right? And so tomorrow something happened, and he saved you. He didn't let you die, and then you completed that shit 2 weeks later. From then on, it's like, okay, well, the next time you come across death, I can't save you, bro. But it's not like I have a pre fucking date, whatever. But He'll step in if He's like, if you haven't reached your mission that I sent you on, so I'll save you till then. But after you complete your mission, whenever death comes knocking randomly, whenever a motherfucker comes show up, I'm not stepping in. It's on you. You figure it out like that.
Well, there's a Bible verse that says that talks about like the why do people die so young, and it talks like it's God saving them and protecting them from I guess like what the world was gonna do to them, or like I guess I don't know if it's like God knows what's in store for your life, and He just calls you home. Now I don't know if that means that, like you said, that like when you're close to death, He saves you. He just doesn't save you, or does that because He doesn't kill you? He's not like He's saying, "Oh, let me." No, I don't think so. But does it just mean like, oh, when on this point I'm not gonna save you today, like that, or how did that work?
Maybe it's just one of those resets.
But sometimes I think about like, how do we know we're not dead? Right? Like I think of like, what if we died that day when we swerving from that deer? What if we both died that day, and yet somehow we never knew because it was an instant. We're both dead, but somehow we're like, this is not real. Isn't that crazy?
I mean, it does. I mean, it's weird to think of.
Because
but
like, what if you die yet your life continues to go?
in a different dimension?
It continues, but yet like, no, you died. Everybody's like, you're dead.
It would have to be different dimension shit, but I don't know. I can still eat hot Cheetos,
So that means you're alive.
so I'm alive and kicking.
I don't know.
It is weird because now I seen a Wingstop all of a sudden and pop up out of nowhere, and I'm like, when the fuck did this happen? Right next door to my work. When the fuck did we get a Wingstop? Like there was no fucking nobody
Wingstop
ever told
coming-
me.
yeah,
Wingstop
Wingstop's
is such a big deal that somebody somewhere had to have told me something.
For somebody.
Yeah.
It's a big deal for somebody.
It's a big deal for somebody. It's a big deal for enough people that shit would have hit my ears.
Especially being across the street.
Being across the street from my work. So maybe we're dead.
I don't know. I looked it up.
I be
remember?
shitting out blood.
What the heck? How did we go from Wingstop to you shitting out blood?
Because fucking you said maybe you were dead.
What the heck?
And I don't like it does nothing hurts. It feels like a normal shit. But that bitch you redder than a mug.
You gotta get yourself checked.
I don't worry about it once it becomes a problem.
It's already a problem. What are you talking about?
But maybe we're dead.
It's still a problem.
After I shit 5 more times blood, then I'll worry about it. If I get a good one, like a solid one before then it restarts.
It's a weird ass thing to say. Like hella or like just like a little
No,
pain?
like it's just when I wipe my ass.
Oh, I don't know.
Like
about
there's
that.
nothing in the tank.
I've never shit out blood.
Maybe it's not even blood. Maybe it's just Valentina and shit.
Oh, I don't know. I remember one time when I don't know what those, I forgot what those are called, but like those Mexican like you know those things that come in a pack and it's kind of like paper in this color.
Ombleas?
That's what they call it?
Ombleas, yeah.
I remember I ate that.
A whole pack, huh?
I ate like a whole pack by myself, and then I remember I went to the bathroom and I was peeing like red, like damn near light reddish. And me having kidney problems all the time, I'm like, oh fuck, my shit's done. So I'm like, damn. I'm like, I always hate it because I'm forced to go to the doctor. I have to go. There's no. This is a clear sign. My body's saying, like, we need help. Like, I feel like my body will let me know. I feel it. And I felt like shit. And I'm like, I remember, I'm like, damn, I have to go to the hospital. And I'm like, I remember going. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to go and shit. There's a whole thing. And then I went to my mom's room. My sister was there. I was like, hey, I'm gonna leave. She's like, where are you going? I was like, I'm going to the hospital. Or to the doctor. I said, I think I said the hospital. She's like, why? And I was like, I'm peeing blood. She's like, what the hell? Why the hell are you peeing blood? And I was like, I don't know. My kidney, I guess. She's like, were you eating that shit? Like, were you eating the flat, whatever? And I was like, I think I did. I was like, yeah. And she's like, it's just that. And I was like, nah, that shit doesn't do that. And she's like, yeah, it does. She's like, well, I remember because when I was pregnant, I used to eat a lot of those. She said I used to eat a lot of those and it would change my pee. And I remember telling my mom the same thing. Like, well, and she kept telling me it's not. It's just from, I guess, the food coloring or whatever the shit is. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. I still was in doubt. So I remember you're like, well, I'll eat a whole shit and we'll test it, huh?
Oh, yeah, to see whether or not it's for show.
Yeah, if it's real or
Yeah,
not.
because me and you got the same body. Like, same everything. So, like, we have same food habits, same everything. So, I'm like, if this is the cause, then we'll figure it out right now.
I don't think shit works like that because it's like everything with me and you is the same as far as like our diet. Pretty much everything. The only difference is I drink and you don't. And I don't drink like that though, but I do drink beer. Like I'll drink 1 or 2 every once in a while. But that's it. And a lot of times when I tell people, like, when I tell the doctors whatever, they say it's fine. Like, it's not a big deal that you drink 1 or 2. So, but yeah, I'm like, no, like, I remember my kidneys felt like that shit was burning. Like, I felt like I was dying. I felt like my kidney, and we still went to the Suns game. I felt like my kidneys were failing on me. And I'm like, if my kidneys fail, it's over. because it's done. But and it's crazy because the doctors never explained to me because I'm like, I don't want to feel that again. I remember telling the doctor, I don't want to feel that again. So I want to know what caused it because so I can, if it's something that I'm doing, that I could avoid it. So like we did, I remember they did like, you know that thing they do for pregnant people, whatever, they put that gel so they can see your organs and shit like that. They did that to my kidneys. And they did that and they're like, and they checked them and they said that one of my kidneys was larger than the other one. But they said that that's not a big thing. Like it can be normal. But other than that, they're like, you're good. Everything seems to be working fine. I'm like, but if everything is working fine, then why was I having those problems? And I had it back to back, like 1 year, and then like 6 months passed, and 6, 7, 8 months passed, and I got it again. And then I remember telling them, I don't want to feel it again in another 8 months. So then we had like set up another appointment for me to get checked again, and they said it's good, and I've been fine still. So I don't know if that was something that, like that I did, because I don't see nothing has changed. I still drink my 1 to 2 beers. But when you're in that pain of the kidneys, you're like, yeah, I'm not drinking ever again. Because it's like, well, I remember feeling so stupid. I'm like, if my kidneys are fucking up, all because my ass is drinking, it's hella dumb.
But kidneys do what?
They clean out your body of toxins, I think.
I thought that was your liver.
But I think your kidneys do that as well.
Yeah, I don't know shit about shit, but I just remember thinking like if it's gonna happen to you, if I do the same shit, it will happen to me. So I ate the whole fucking oblast shit, the whole bag, and then I don't know, feel like an hour later or whatever, go pee. That shit was redder than a bitch. I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's what it was.
But that's crazy then, because I've never eaten any food that changed my pee color.
Yeah, that shit got cancer shit.
Yeah, it's probably shit not good for you.
Nah, that shit tastes good though.
It doesn't even have a taste.
It's like, well, like just a snack on for whatever reason. This is just the crunch, satisfies your like inner carnivore.
I remember when I went to the doctor, and I told the lady like, yeah, my kidneys, I'm having problems, whatever. And then she's like, well, we did the urine test. She's like, we can check your urine, whatever, to see if it has blood in it and stuff like that. And then I remember the look she gave me, and it was like, it was a worried ass face. And she looked at me and she told me in a low tone, she's like, you're too young to be having kidney problems. And that's what made me think like, oh shit, yeah, my shit failing. There's something, because the way she looked at me was pure like a
mother?
Yeah, like sympathy, like straight love. Like I felt from her, like what the hell was going on? Like that's not normal. That's not like, it's not normal for that. And I remember she told me, I hope you're okay. And I'm like, I hope so too. Today, I'm like, you're telling me that. I'm like, yeah. But it shows you like, people don't give a fuck about their health, and that's me too. Like until you're right there, and a lot of times you can't buy that shit back.
When I went to the doctor for the first time in like 10 years to get checked at, because I finally had health insurance and shit. I found like my personal doctor, whatever, I had to apply and they had to accept you, do all that shit. I went there expecting to get like checked. I'm like, I haven't been here in forever. She gonna want me to get naked and like check me up and down, everything. And I got there. She did a quick little fucking questionnaire shit. You smoke, drink, whatever? Do you do crack? What? Do you have STDs or what? And I'm like, okay, I answered them. Yeah.
What the heck?
And then she was like, all right, let me listen to your heart and to whatever. Breathe for me. She did the whole fucking thing. She fucking tapped my knee with her hand. She like
text that reflex, whatever.
Yeah, but she just did this. She just squeezed my thighs, like squeezed all the way down to my foot. And she's like, do you have any pains or whatever? Tell her no. She's like, okay, yeah, you look pretty healthy. You're all good to go. I'm like, what the, like, do something.
Yeah.
Like, put a needle in me or something. Like, tell me like something. Like
You want more? Or what?
yeah, like I haven't been a doctor in 10 years.
I think they're just gonna do is mandatory, and if it's just a checkup, it's just that.
She just checked my blood pressure. Like that's the biggest thing that they did. And I'm like, bro, it's like $400. I'm about to pay your ass. Do something. Like smack my ass.
I think
do
that's
something.
what the heck. I think it's crazy that America doesn't have free healthcare.
It never will. There's too much money in it.
How the hell are we the greatest country in the world and not giving people free healthcare?
I know.
Yeah, the neighbor is doing it. Canada. Really?
I know. Dictator.
Really?
Dictator Canada.
Seems fucked up. Like that it's crazy that like, well, I mean, the tight thing is that you will get help. It's not like Mexico where you go to
you get denied.
You go to the hospital and you need immediate surgery and you got the money because they ain't gonna operate until they know you're gonna pay.
No half up front.
Yeah, there was a case of a dude who got attacked by a cartel and he got his neck slit. Yet he survived. And he went to the hospital and then he's like, luckily I had money, right? So when he said the ambulance gives you a choice, where do you want to go? Right? And he's like, here he knew he wanted to go to a good one. He's like, I got money, got a little change on me, whatever. So take me to the best one, whatever. He named it. So they're like, all right. They took him there. And they said they wanted like, I don't remember exactly the amount, but it was a good amount. Like, I think in American money, I think it was like 10 to 15,000. And he had it. So he's like, that's fine. I'll give it to you. And then they were like, okay, this shit is bigger than what we thought. Like, they took care of him, put bandages and shit like that. We're bandaging him. And they were like, no, your surgery that you need is more complex than we thought. You need to go to another hospital. And then that hospital wanted like another 15,000. And then they said they wanted another 15,000 for the actual operation. And he's like, well, fuck, I already gave him my money I had. So he's like, I think his wife started calling his friends, telling them whatever. And they got him a good amount of money to get him to the next hospital. But the doctor was waiting for them for the other half to actually do the surgery. And they were on the phone, and he said his friends were saying, I got the money, like, just fucking operate already. And they told him, no, you gotta send it over first. And it took them, I think, like 2-3 days for them to get him the actual money for them to start operating. And luckily the guy survived. But I mean, like, if you die within those 3 days,
yeah, and you didn't.
Well, it just seems like, well, I mean, it's crazy because as a doctor, because that's life right there, right? But it's because, like, who's going to cover this shit?
Yeah, the government should cover that shit.
Yeah.
But the government don't cover that shit. They should do that.
You should be, I think, anywhere you're dying, you need to be operated now. You should be operated on and then be freed later, if anything. But them letting you die, it seems like that's hella wrong. Clearly wrong. Like, save you, and yeah, you owe us this. Even if it's a payment plan. Even though I think, like,
it's greed. It's little greed. Everybody wants your money. Little fucking greedy motherfuckers.
Yeah, but that's why I don't understand. America's too good of a country to not give free healthcare.
Will never happen.
Didn't think so?
Nah, it's too much money. Crazy amount of money. Everybody who makes money, who controls the government to begin with, doesn't want that anyways.
Thank you for listening to the AB podcast. You can follow us in the links below. All our social medias are linked there. If you want to buy some merch, the merch that we're usually wearing in the podcast, you can buy it as well. The link will be below.